Hi, welcome to Worth the War. My name is Kimmy. The purpose of this channel is to help prepare you to love well and avoid abuse. Today's topic is one for the record books. Across this globe, we are fighting a common enemy, the COVID-19 or coronavirus. All across the world, we are staying home. We're either self-quarantining or state-mandated quarantining. Many of us are finding ourselves with people that we don't spend hours and weeks and months with, but we're together 24/7, and that brings with it its own challenges in the area of love and relationship. I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can get along with the people that you love the most during this time. The first tip that I'm going to give you is a huge life changer. It's called the 24-hour rule. Every family is messy. Every group of friends have their wounding. It's just part of being human. And anyone who tells you their family didn't, they're not being honest with you, or they literally had very little interaction with anybody. Bottom line, the 24-hour rule prevents us from keeping long lists of grievances against each other. Your family probably, or your friend group probably has issues that go back that are deeper woundings. This is not the time to dig into those. If you can't go anywhere and get a break from each other, if you can't get a professional counseling to kind of speak into what's going on, this is not the time to get into deep issues. Maybe you need to do that after the quarantine period. But for right now, we're going to set what we call a temporary truce, which means nothing from anything more than 24 hours ago is even on the table. It forces us, when we're offended or hurt or bothered or annoyed, to decide, is it really worth bringing up? If it's not worth bringing up, then you have to let it go. This avoids a couple things. It avoids these long lists of things that you've offended each other, and you start to pin each other into corners about who they are based on what they do to bug you. It also prevents people using what you've done to them as a weapon. If I come to you and say you've hurt me with something you've said, and you come back with 3 things that I've done with you over the last 3 years, neither one of us are going to feel better about what we've discussed. Make it be actionable so that you can apologize, you can learn, you can make the changes that will create a healthier relationship because of this. It actually becomes a positive thing to bring somebody. This is a game changer for families. It's a game changer for love relationships. Having this kind of rule in place prevents lists of things that are hiding in the corner just waiting to be brought out and ruin a good day. So the 24-hour rule is not only helpful in the short term, but it will be helpful in the long term as well. So the second tip that I have for you is to have you choose to be a person with rose-colored glasses on versus the camera lens. There's no way that we're going to spend a lot of time together and not find each other to be annoying in small ways. You might breathe too loud when you eat, you might chew gum like a cow, which I think might be me, or you might scrape your ice cream bowl to the point where the glaze is literally coming off. There's just different things that we do that are going to drive each other crazy, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. The way that we approach each other will be a game changer for you and the group that you're hanging out with. So if you have rose-colored glasses on, you're essentially going to look at the whole person, you're going to keep it in perspective, you're going to remember they're probably not doing that to annoy you, you're going to think about all the wonderful things that they do for you and with you and the commitment that you have to them and that you want their lives to be good. If you choose to be a camera lens, you are going to zero down on the thing that's annoying you with little to no consideration for who they are. You're going to zero so much down that you're likely to have some regrets later when you just come off being petty and small. The third tip I have for you is to be a surpriser. When you're in this environment and you're surrounded by the same people day after day, be the one who thinks of things to do that are different, that lighten up the room. A board game you can pull out, or you want to go get the family pictures to go through, or you know that you have the stuff that you can make cookies and you want to surprise people, or if you're the one that's going to go out and get supplies, buy a few things that people don't know about, and then when there's a gray day and it's kind of boring, pull them out so that you can say, oh, I got these to kind of surprise us and lift up our day. Think about some things that you can do in that environment that will actually lift other people. Be a surpriser. Be someone that they can look to and know that you're not just thinking about yourself, but you actually want to elevate how everybody else is feeling as well. So the fourth tip that I will give you is how to silence the scarcity mindset. And it's a pretty huge thing when it comes to gathering with your families, being in the same place with limited resources. It basically frees you from the need to have things the way you want them, with the ability to understand that in the bigger scheme, it's just not that important. You can silence it within yourself with discipline by remembering this is not the only cookie that you'll ever have, the only time you'll get to watch the TV shows you want, or sit in the chairs that you want to watch, or have the house be as clean as you need it to be. It's a way of reminding yourself of the bigger picture. And if we do that, if we teach that to our children, if we show and find ways to outdo one another in giving, to making sure that other people have what they want first, then we actually are freed from the selfish need that we have to control and have things for ourselves. It frees us. If we make it into our family culture, it frees other people, and it literally makes the jockeying for who gets what they want, it takes that out of it by going back to that real childlike need that we had to make people happy. We would take them our favorite toy. We would share the things that we had. We wanted to do those things. We can go back to that as adults and free ourselves from the competition that comes from a scarcity mindset, and we can teach other people in our circle that same freedom. The fifth tip that I have to help you get along with the people that you love is how we handle our expectations. We didn't choose to go through this time of quarantine and of close togetherness, but what we can do is pick how we respond to the other people, and we do that by changing our expectations. It doesn't just free them from having to be perfect and from being reminded for the times that they fall short, but it frees us. It's going to lift a lot of the stress that we find ourselves immersed in during this time. So there's 5 tips on how to get along with the people you love the most. I hope that you'll try a couple, that you find them useful. We want to build a community here, so if down below you would let us know if there's anything that you hadn't thought of before or you are looking forward to trying to implement, like to get to know you better. It'd be awesome if you'd subscribe and press that button so that we can continue to grow our community and help people to love well and avoid abuse. It's awesome that you took the time to be here, and I look forward to seeing you next week.